All right, a viewer of mine had a special request, and I thought it would be nice to oblige. What he needed was a diagram or a drawing of the brackets on the front and the rear. I think he just said the front, that these skirts hang on. So we have this hanger here and this hanger here, and they hang on to brackets on either end of the tire there. And he wanted me to get sort of a rough drawing and maybe take some dimensions so that he could manufacture his own in his own shop. So I thought that might be a fun thing to do. If you didn't know, these skirts basically just held on here with this very simple arrangement here. It's quite simple. And anyway, so let me go ahead and get the wheel off of here and jack this thing up, and we'll start in on it. Whoopsie. Good old Stanley. All right, that's our goal right there. Actually, I've never actually taken a close-up look at these brackets, to be perfectly honest with you. So let's do that. It looks like they're bolted on with two, I would say those are 1/2-inch bolts in SAE. Appears to merely be a piece of metal bolted to the car. And you have this tab that hangs down from the vehicle, and that add-on piece of metal is bolted to it, and you have that hook right there. Let me put some thoughts together and figure out what the best way is to come up with a representation of this. I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably just take a rubbing, and so let me get ready to do that. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't think there's really a way for me to take a rubbing of the back side. What I'll do is I'll take some photos and I'll take some measurements. There we go. We'll go ahead and take some measurements next. Okay, let's see, from here to the bottom, that is 2 inches. The width of this hook right here is, you can tell these were done in SAE or Imperial measurements. That's 1/4 of an inch. So from that edge there to that straight edge inside there is 1/4 of an inch. And from that tip there to the bottom edge there, that looks to be about 1/2 probably. That's 5/8. From there to there is 5/8 of an inch. And let's do an overall width across that way. I don't have a proper tool for this. I just have my good old Stanley tape measure. All right, we're going to call that 3.5. Take this measurement here, 2 1/4. on my rubbing, it does not convey the fact that this edge and this are parallel. In my rubbing, it's a little off. So, but these two are parallel to one another. And we got 2 bolt holes here. The centers are, we're going to call it 1 1/16 from center to center. And this bolt looks farther from this edge than this one does. So the bottom one, we're going to call that 3/4 of an inch from the edge. And the top one, we'll call it 7/8. Look at, you know what, there's some movement there. There's probably big washers. These holes are probably not perfect. They're probably elongated. So there's going to be some adjustment here. So if somebody were to fabricate this, you know, you just make the holes a little bigger and you tighten it down, you know, test fit it. Does it fit? No. Loosen it, move it, retighten it, so on and so forth. Trial and error, try to, you know, get it to work. So let's just call those 3/4 of an inch from the edge. So let's do a measurement from here to there, basically. That would be transposed across here to about right in there somewhere. It doesn't have to be perfect, I don't guess. We're going to say that is the distance from here to this plane here is 1 1/4 is, let's see, 1 1/4 inches. Believe it or not, I did take 2 years of engineering drafting in college, so please don't judge me too harshly. I sold my drafting tools many years ago, including my T-square, but I don't think it would have come in handy for this. All right, let me take some photographs of the back side and then we'll move on. All right, well, there you have it. That's the Impala Man's Garage pseudo artsy engineering drafting work there. So got a rubbing from the bracket itself, which is bolted to the car. Took some measurements here. The whole thing is about 3.5. All right, and this distance here to here is 2 1/4. The bolt holes are 3 1/4 from the edge here. And we got a little whoop-de-doo curlicue here that the bracket hangs on. That little thing there is 1/4 of an inch. It's about 5/8 tall. There's 2 inches from there to there, and so on and so forth. You get it. The whole thing is about 3.5 inches wide. I wasn't able to take a rubbing of the part of the car on which this bolts. However, I did basically freehand draw it and took all of the measurements here, so you could, you know, if you were interested in this, you could pause the video right here and take a look at it if you wanted. So the bolt holes are 1 1/16 on center from there to there, and they're 3/4 from the edge of the bracket. So there you go. Just a little vlog, you might say, a request from a viewer on the sizes and dimensions of the bracket on the car which the rear wheel fender skirts bolt to, because, well, his were rusted completely off. I hope this was helpful to someone. You guys stick around. We got more videos coming your way.